What is going on, everyone? Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to run through the 7 methods selling on Amazon FBA that I believe you can implement. Okay, now this might be in the UK or it might be in the US, might be slightly different in the US or any areas of the world. But as far as I'm aware, you can do these methods from anywhere in the world. Basically, anywhere in the world, except one of them, which is the books, which is probably primarily for USA. That works well. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to run through the 7 methods that I believe you can do to sell. And I'd say this is a fairly up-to-date video. I'm not actually aware of many other methods that you can do at all. So yeah, stay tuned and let's dive into this. Quick disclaimer, I haven't done all of these business models, but however I believe I can talk about them because I'm in a lot of communities where people are doing it, so I have a really good overview of all the business models and how they're working for people. And obviously I've done some of them and I've sold a lot of money on Amazon. I've sold a lot on Amazon myself as well. A lot relatively speaking, depends how big the seller is you're saying you sold a lot to. So yeah, the first business model, without further ado, is general reselling. Now, I would consider this online arbitrage from retail arbitrage. Okay, so retail arbitrage, you're going around shops. You're going around shops and you're trying to find like 2-for-1s or sale items and things like that. Doesn't always have to be in the sale, but generally it's a sale item or 2-for-1. And then what you're doing, going home, packaging it up, putting it in a UPS box or whatever courier you use, sending it to Amazon, and then making the profit in between. Now, it's not always as easy as that because you can get a lot of people that jump on in terms of competition. However, I do know people that still to this day do make good money good money from retail arbitrage. So it is something I can't believe I just said mummy. And so it is something that definitely still works as a business model, and I can't really see it going anywhere because shops, or as opposed to online arbitrage, shops, retail arbitrage, actually they're always going to be running offers. So you can always go around and pick stuff up and probably resell it. So I'd say that's a good long-term strategy if that's something you're interested in. Didn't really float my boat because I didn't really see the scalability in it. You can scale it up, but I think it is sort of capped to a certain level. So yeah, it's an opportunity if it's something that you're interested in, driving around picking the items up yourself. The next business model similar to that is online arbitrage. Now, these are as I say, these are the 2 that I would consider sort of general reselling. So online arbitrage is similar. However, you're buying from online stores, which the pro means that you don't have to go around the shops and buy the stuff in the first place. However, the con means that there's more people seeing that item, which generally means there's going to be more competition. So online arbitrage, once again, I know a lot of people that do it and a lot of people that make money from it. So it's definitely something that still works as far as I can see. I used to do it. And for me, I just found the margins got a little bit too small. It got a little bit too competitive. But who knows? It depends on the product. It depends on where you're sourcing it from. It depends what margins you're willing to take, and it depends the scalability level that you're at. And then you can still make money in it, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I'd say it's a good entry level thing, but also it doesn't have to be. Some people still do it years in, so it doesn't have to be an entry level thing. As I say, just be willing for just bear in mind you're going to get price tanking, and you're going to get people that you might not make a ton of money from any individual product. So it's a bit more of a numbers game of online arbitrage. But yeah, as I say, I still know a lot of people that still do it, so it must still be making some people some fairly decent money. So yeah, that's online arbitrage, something that I used to do when I sort of started out. Probably did it for a year and a half, I suppose. So yeah, that's my first thing. That's the first method of selling, which is general reselling, online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So the next one, I believe the next one to put in this sector is wholesale, because that's probably the closest you get. Most people move on from online arbitrage into wholesale. Now, wholesale is huge. The potential in wholesale is huge. The margins can be small, right? I've not done wholesale. Like, I deal with wholesalers, I deal with brands, but I don't sell directly wholesale. I sell them under my own brand, which we'll get onto later. But wholesale, generally, huge potential. I think you'll notice some of the biggest sellers in the world do wholesale, along with private label, which once again we'll get into later. Wholesale is Uncapped, huge potential. You can deal with big wholesalers, open accounts with huge wholesalers. You can even be the only one that's allowed to sell some of these brands from these wholesalers, and then you can start to small margins, usually not always, but usually small margins doing wholesale directly, and then you can just it's a numbers game with wholesale. Usually you want to open accounts where you can get huge quantities of orders without being capped, which is where it's different to online arbitrage, and then you can just it's a sheer numbers game. Sheer numbers game. So wholesale, I know a lot of sellers that do very well and they've got their own warehouses from wholesale. Once again, I don't do it, but I know there are a lot of sellers that do it in a big way from wholesale. And as I say, it's a numbers game, quite a secure sort of business model, much more solid than online arbitrage, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, it's a route that many sellers progress onto after online arbitrage. So that's wholesale, which is next. And then directly in correlation with wholesale is brand deals. So there's some huge sellers. One 8-figure seller that I know that directly mainly just does this, and he does brand deals. So it's similar to wholesale. I think some people put it in the same league as wholesale. Once again, I've not done it exclusively to resell specific items, open brand accounts. But a lot of people, what they do is they reach out to companies, they reach out to brands that are selling brands on that, perhaps on their website or something like that, and they're not actually live on Amazon. And then they would ask them if they would want to let them become the exclusive distributor for that brand. So you could be an Amazon seller that's got the exclusive distribution rights for a specific brand, and no one else is allowed to jump on it, which means that no penny undercutting, which means that a lot of the work is already done for you. So some people might actually be searching for them brands already in the Amazon search box, and you might be the one that's allowed to sell it. Why does the company not want to do it themselves? Well, Amazon, once you become sort of more of an expert on Amazon, I suppose a lot of company you've got a lot of knowledge that these companies don't have, so they'd rather just sell it to you and let you make that sort of little bit of profit in between, and then you can do a numbers game on Amazon as well. So brand deals, once again, a lot of big sellers that do brand deals. I've never done it specifically to resell them specific items. Once again, I have opened brand accounts and put them under my own brand. But yeah, that's something else. That's something else from what looks like a great business model, which you could really progress onto later on once you're more of an advanced seller, I would say. Okay, so the next business model is bundles. So you could do bundles on Amazon. Now, what do I mean by bundles? So you could get them from online arbitrage, you could do wholesale or directly with brands. And what you could do is just start bundling products together. Let's say, for example, and this isn't the only research you need to do. Obviously, I use Helium 10. I would use Helium 10 or some other tools, something like that, to do this. But once you've done your research, once you know a bit about Amazon, as I say, then you can start to see what's frequently bought together, and you need to do more due diligence, as I say. But if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see some items are frequently bought together. So what you could start to do is, say, for example, you've got a Twinings lemon tea bag. Some people want a Twinings apple tea bags set of 20 to go with it, so you could simply bundle two of them together. And some people do that, some people build a business just bundling like that. You can still get people jumping your items, but that's the beauty of actually creating another option. You could create a further option of bundles where maybe you just put a little slip or something inside it that's something to do with what you do. You could put say a little slip in it, like a thank you slip, or something unique into that, and then people can't really jump on it, or people tend not to jump on it because they can't be bothered to go and source that glove or the little thank you slip that you've put into that bundle, for example. But yeah, as I say, a lot of people just bundle a few items together, and then, as I say, generally get less competition because people don't want to do bundles, especially more advanced these bundles get. People don't tend to want to do the logistics of that. They want to sell just one item. So I think bundles and creating your own listings from bundles can be a huge opportunity as well. As I say, a lot of sellers do that. The harder the items are to put together, probably the more potential you've got to not get price slammed. And as I say, if you put something unique into that bundle, just something little. I'm not talking about unique bundles. We'll move on to that. I'm just talking about bundles. Maybe if you put something small and unique into that, then you're probably the chances are you either might not get people jump on if you've got, you know, brand registry or something like that, or the likelihood is much lower. You have much lower competition compared to OA or wholesale, for example, on some items. And yeah, moving on from that is next is unique bundles. So with unique bundles, you can create your own brand. You can put multiple items into these things. So I would class this different to bundles, sort of bundles, and then you've got unique bundles. So unique bundles is, you know, you want to get brand registered. You don't have to start like that, but in my opinion, I think you want to get brand registered so that people actually aren't allowed to jump on your listings. And if they do, well, they can. If they, you know, if you're not gated in your brand, but if they do jump on, then you can give them an IP violation and get them off, or just warn them off. So unique bundles, huge opportunity in my opinion. You can source from brands, you can source from wholesalers, you can source from different places, even at OA if you need to. You know, you can source from just online stores, and then you can put together bundles of stuff with lots of your own unique stuff. Whether that's the packaging, whether that's slips you put inside it, whether that's certain items that are hard to source, whatever you want to do. The world's your oyster. You create them listings. You have got, it's not everything's, you know, sunshine and roses, because you have got to tackle PPC and things like that, and some are not going to work, and you know, you've got to sort of deal with that. But yeah, huge opportunity there. You know, a lot of people do that. You know, unique bundles, you know, you can actually make money by bundling your own stuff together, making something unique, creating a brand. And then, you know, people can't jump on your listings. So yeah, that's the other one there. Another method. I hope you enjoyed the video, by the way, guys and girls. If you could subscribe and like if you do enjoy it, because it does help me knowing if something's going right. You know, I hope this is a bit of a unique video. Pardon the pun from the last group, the last Amazon method we were talking about. But yeah, hope it's a bit unique. Hopefully you can't find all of this on YouTube. Other people talking about, quite up to date, I suppose. But yeah, the next one I want to talk about is used books. So I know a specific. There's quite a few of them. But it's more of a rare method. And I know a guy called Seth, who I interviewed just a few videos back. Feel free to watch it if you want. He's going to do huge numbers this year, millions, I believe, in turnover. And he's got really high profit margins, really high ROI, and he does used books. So used books, I know there's huge potential on it. So what you're doing is you're sourcing books. I think, now I can't remember, I'll be honest, because it was a while ago we did the specifics of the interview. He sources books from either eBay or Amazon itself, and then flips them back around, gets them sent to his prep center. This is in the USA, and then he will resell them. And sometimes, as I say, yes, huge profits doing that. So there's definitely huge potential. He makes a lot of money. There's huge ROIs. I think one of the cons to it is where it's a little bit slower. I think sometimes it could take 3 to 6 months to sell a book. So you've got to have a lot of inventory. But yeah, definitely huge potential. I think, you know, if it's something that you're interested in and willing to go down, it's something I sort of always have regretted a little bit, not testing out the used books market. Maybe I will one day. But yeah, it's huge potential. Can be huge margins, and I think it can be quite automated as well. So yeah, used books is another good one from what I can see. I haven't done it, but it looks great, and I know people that do well from it. And then finally, obviously, we've got the holy grail, some people call it, which is private label. So private label, I've not done it specifically, but some of the stuff I do with my own brand, you could class it, some people class it as private label. It's not really, okay, it's sort of a version of private label. But once you get more advanced, even if you're more advanced doing unique bundles, then I think eventually they could be private label. But anyway, private label is, I still think it's the biggest opportunity on Amazon. I don't know. I say this, wholesale, unique bundles, they've all got the biggest potential from what I can see. Now, I'm not saying that's, you know, an exact science, but that's just from what I can see. Huge potential in private label to create brands, look into markets. You don't have to sell millions and millions of one product where it's really competitive and spend millions on PPC. From what I can see from similar PL stuff I've done, not exactly private label, but similar to private label stuff I've done so far, I'm looking forward to venturing into private label, because I think you can tap into little niches and make a lot of money either importing goods from other countries or actually creating products here in the UK. So huge potential with private label. It's definitely something I'll be exploring fairly soon, I'd say, in the next couple of years. Creating a proper private label brand that we can also sell on, Etsy and then our own website and stuff like that. Yeah, huge potential to create a brand, to tap into small niches, I believe. Or I don't think you can just create, like, for a bike lock and then create another bike lock with your logo on it, just expect it to sell. That sort of private label, in my opinion, seems to be dead from the people that I speak to. Needs to be a bit more creative, but I think if you can create a proper brand, if you've got any sort of brand knowledge, or you can sort of deploy, the skills of someone that has to help you, I think creating a brand, tapping into an untapped niche, looks like there's huge potential for private label. And obviously, there's people that do very well from private label. It's just not the same as it used to be. It seems to be the general consensus from what we can see. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. That was the 7 selling methods that I believe you can do on Amazon. And I will see you in the next video. As I say, I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you do, and share it with anyone that you think might sort of enjoy it. And I will see you all in the next video.